Listen very carefully and follow my instructions. Prepare your brain for the Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast.
I gotta tell you, being an entrepreneur, I will not go through the rest of my career without taking nootropics. Aniracetam, paracetam, modafinil, Nupec, uridim monophosphate. I mean, phenylparacetam, forget it. You could always have a better brain.
The Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast is about to begin.
Episode number 89 of the Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast. Ashwagandha and a lack of motivation. Going to talk about a nootropic subreddit thread that came out that basically talks about that. I'll read you the whole thing so that you really get the understanding of it, and I kind of want to just talk about why I think this user is running into the problem that they are with ashwagandha. In the meantime, product and specials. Right now, the Cortex stack, you can get a bottle for $28 using the coupon code 5. That's our pre-made nootropic stack. Exceptionally strong stack, and we built it to be strong. That was the whole deal. Like the compounds that were out then, the pre-made stacks, I mean, they were okay, but they weren't significant. You didn't take it and be like, wow, mind is blown, totally ready and motivated, feeling productive and ready to work. We changed that with Cortex, built a super stack basically. Get it at livecortex.com. Coupon code 5 saves you $5. If you need my help personally, we have a consulting service on nootropics, very popular, used by professionals. It's basically a 40-minute call with me on how to help you get stacks that work well for you, fix brain fog, whatever you need to do around nootropics. If you're new to nootropics, we wrote a book for you. Buy it at livecortex.com. It's called Smarter, Better, Faster. Teaches you everything. It's digital, downloadable, gives you my favorite stack, shows you how to cycle. And if you have gut-related issues, a new service we launched is we've got a consulting service on SIBO, LPR, and GERD. It's an hour call with me to help you to fix those issues. I've gone through it all and understand how to fix it. Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. Okay, so there's a nootropic subreddit thread titled Ashwagandha, Lack of Motivation and Feelings of Sadness. And here's how it goes. I recently started taking 1.3 grams of ashwagandha in pill form due to its reports of improving energy and decreasing stress. I've been slowly trying to improve my overall self-care in hopes to improve my overall libido, testosterone, mood, and to help facilitate a big change in my overall health. Over the past week, I've taken 2 capsules that contain 1,300 milligrams of ashwagandha powder and 5 milligrams of black pepper extract. Initially, the results seemed quite promising, as I found myself calmer than before. It was almost as if everything was silent, and I had some time in which my mind was blank. Then he says my acne seemed to improve, which is interesting. However, as the week has come to end, the results have turned for the worse. I find myself having alternating highs and lows after each consumption. The highs with extreme euphoria and relaxation, while the lows are extreme unmotivating somberness. This seems to make me unable to focus or feel happy. Then he goes to talk about joints hurting. I'm not sure that has anything to do with it. I know ashwagandha impacts my thyroid, and I was wondering if supplementing this has highlighted any possible medical issues I have. Okay, so a couple things. Perhaps ashwagandha is affecting your thyroid gland, and maybe take a supporting thyroid gland stack like 500 milligrams tyrosine, 400 milligrams iodine, 400 micrograms iodine, 400 micrograms selenium, kind of base level thyroid stack. And that might be helpful. But the other thing to note is that, it's so weird with ashwagandha and dosing. Some people need to take 2-3 grams and they feel really, really good. There's people with like serious depression that really need to curve it somehow with a compound, and that tends to work for them. Doesn't give them any energy problems, kind of makes them feel good. And that works well for them. Some people that are really, really hyped up, their brain just works really quickly, too quickly, sort of all the time. They take ashwagandha and get, positive benefits from it. But some people take ashwagandha even in, relatively low doses, like a gram, 1.3 grams. And then they run into this kind of problem, a problem where, they've got some good feelings, but they're unmotivated kind of thereafter. And the reason I think that is because to a degree, you sort of need cortisol, the stress hormone. You kind of need some degree of stress. It kind of brings energy, like good stress is good energy to the mix. And potentially ashwagandha just lowering your stress hormone a little too much. And that's just kind of messing with some other things like maybe DHEA. And that might be fussing with your testosterone. And that might be making you feel tired or something. Or just sort of generally the dose on ashwagandha is a little too high for you. and you need to take it down to somewhere like 400 or 500 milligrams. See if you could still get kind of that relaxation with the compound, but not have it mess with your productivity and your motivation. I can tell you this. A while ago, I got liquid sublingual ashwagandha because I was like, yeah, let me just go all the way and see how this works. And I dosed it in like pretty high quantities. It was so available because it was sublingual and it was liquid and sublingual, like super available ashwagandha, that it did the same thing to me. I did feel cool and calm, and like I wasn't particularly anxious like I might normally be, but I had zero motivation to do anything. My brain was not working quick enough to really attack any work. And that was like a big issue. That was like, okay, I noticed this. So that's my experience with really bioavailable ashwagandha, basically the same as yours, the same as this experience that's happening with this person. And the only way, so you have to learn how to use these things. The only way that I found to use ashwagandha is like 2 grams before bed. Makes me sleep really well, and then I won't take it like during the day or anything. That's one way. If I do take it during the day, the best way to do it is to take it with a stimulant like nootropic stack, something like aniracetam, theacrine, and alcar, and a choline source, and then dose the ashwagandha pretty low, like 300 or 400 milligrams, just to balance out the stimulation of the rest of that stack. And that kind of makes a good stack where my brain isn't moving too fast, but I can focus. You got the stimulant racetam, helping me to move everything really quickly and for memory to be good. Well, then the ashwagandha kind of slows things down just enough to where I can focus, which is really amazing. Okay, so you have to really know how to use these compounds, and that's kind of how I think that this person might want to go about using ashwagandha. Perhaps not by itself like that, but perhaps in conjunction with a stimulant like racetam stack or an otherwise stimulant nootropic stack, and then use the ashwagandha in lower doses to kind of balance it out. But yes, I do want to reinforce that like me taking super bioavailable liquid sublingual ashwagandha did the exact same thing to me. And you also have to know with ashwagandha, it's not one of those things that you're going to take in general and feel motivated. It basically just does the opposite. You're supposed to really just feel kind of good and, not like you want to work. Ashwagandha is like, you take that to meditate, or to feel meditative. And I don't know about you, but when I'm like super calm and I've slowed everything down, my nervous system's like totally chill and in check, I really don't want to work. And I'm really not motivated. I'm motivated to kind of just chill and maybe meditate some more or think, do some reflecting, slow reflective thinking. And that's kind of about it. So you have to know what ashwagandha is used best for, and then try implementing some of these other strategies. Now, look, we've got stacks like that with ashwagandha that have other stimulant-like compounds in them with ashwagandha, like, as part of the stack, as kind of a balancer in the stack, that work really well in the Racetam God Guide, in the Nootropic Stacks for the Business Professional, in Smarter, Better, Faster. Those are our digital books that teach you how to use nootropics and give you many stacks. So get those at livecortex.com if you have any questions about this. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Ryan at livecortex.com if you have questions that I can answer somewhere, like on the web around any of our content. And hey, check out our products right now. The Cortex Stack, $28 for the Cortex Nootropic Stack. Just use the coupon code 5, F-I-V-E, at livecortex.com to get it pretty cheap. If you need help with anything related to nootropics, we have a consulting service on that. It's a 40-minute call with me. We just help people figure out stacks that work well for them. It's a really great, popular nootropics consulting service. If you're new to nootropics, buy Smarter, Better, Faster. That's like the number one book you got to buy if you're new and you really want to understand all these distinctions. Smarter, Better, Faster, a surgical guide to using nootropics for total mental dominance. Get that book at livecortex.com. It's digital. And if you have gut-related issues, SIBO, GERD, LPR, we've got a consulting service on that too. All right, livecortex.com for nootropic products, great nootropic stuff. livecortex.com/blog for the biggest blog on the planet for nootropics experiences and information. Facebook.com/Cortex Stacks. Please like us there. And if you would, I'd love for those of you that listen to this podcast to write a review for us.